Every now and again, things happen in this world that really don't come with an explanation, or a valid explanation at least. And sometimes we even try to make sense of things that we see by defining it with a logic that fits what makes us comfortable, when we really have absolutely no idea what we're talking about. So just to let you know, these are one of those episodes that definitely is going to get a little strange. So keep that in mind as we roll along. Up first on today's countdown, we've got one of the more alarming images that I've seen in quite some time. In this picture, there's some type of creature peering through the clouds. And even though we have no idea what it is, the only certainty is that this thing has some extremely large eyes. What do you think this could be? One commenter posted that it looked like an angel peering through the windows of heaven down over all of us. Others suggested that it could be a negative omen, signifying a terrible event was on its way. Have you ever seen anything like this before? Mysterious red cloud. In mid-April of 2019, a guy named Darren Blakely was staying at a hotel in Thailand. On an otherwise clear night, you can see a group of people gathered around and staring at the sky. There appears to be some sort of red, cloudy mass just hovering there by itself, and within it appears to be rounds of flashing lightning. What in the world is going on here? In just a few mere days, the video went viral online with over 1 million views on social media. And all that may not even be the most interesting part. There looks like there's some kind of UFO flying out of the singular cloud. What in the world is that? Now, obviously, most people claimed it to be some kind of alien aircraft, with one user even saying that it must have been recharging the batteries of the ship within that lightning storm within the cloud. Pretty crazy, right? Strange flying object in England. Moving on, we find ourselves out in England back in September of 2018. Now, before I show you this next clip, for those of you old enough, do you remember all that talk back in the day about single-person jetpacks? Like, who remembers the movie The Rocketeer, an old flick that came out all the way back in 1991 about, you know what? I'm really showing my age here again. Let's just move on. Check out this next clip that features what appears to be a modern-day Rocketeer who's skyrocketing straight up into the atmosphere. What in the heck could that be? If you have any more details about this particular event, or perhaps you were even over in the area that this happened in when it all went down, let us know what you know down there in the comments. Volcanic lightning. From the unreal to the wildly unknown, this next story is what some would call perhaps a beautiful disaster. Check it out. Just a few moments ago, we saw lightning come in the form of a random cloud, and this next clip features lightning coming in the form of a wicked volcano. Yeah, it's called volcanic lightning, and you can obviously see that it's one of nature's most breathtaking sights. The contrast of the red flowing lava with the bright blue and white lightning all come together to look like a place that would be nice to see from a great distance away. Apparently, this event happens at the beginning of some volcanic eruptions, and scientists believe that the individual ash particles rubbing against each other during the eruption gives off enough static electricity to create a lightning bolt. Sun halos. Up next, we've got an image of the sun that was recently captured up in Canada, and I gotta tell you that the picture looks fake, but this is absolutely the real deal. Do you see those strange rings around the sun? Well, they were seen by many on Mountain Island, and once the pics were posted online, they almost immediately went viral. People chiming in across the world have suggested this to be the result of a few different things. One person says that there's certain energies surrounding the sun. Others said that it's simply a UFO. But the real answer here, unfortunately for our conspiracy theorists, is pretty simple. EarthSky.org says that these rings are very likely to be sun halos, which are created when very thin clouds called cirrus clouds are out there in the atmosphere. Glasgow's mystery. So up next, we've got more evidence that we probably aren't the only intelligent species in the world, as there appears to be yet another UFO that was captured by some security cameras. We're in Glasgow, Scotland, looking at CCTV footage taken from under a bridge. There, in the distance, you can see what appears to be another one of those UFOs that appear to be popping up all over the world. This one, though, was moving in a very peculiar manner, as it looks like it's darting all over the sky. Weird. What in the heck do you think is going on here? The video was captured on Clyde Street after what witnesses say was a super intense rainstorm. One local was even quoted as saying, "I was stunned to see what looks like a flying saucer in the middle of town." Is that what you guys and girls, of course, think is happening here? A flying saucer flying over a city in the middle of the night? Steve. We'll keep it moving. This next clip is about a strange set of lights that have also puzzled scientists up in Canada, and they come with a pretty unique name. They're called STEVE, for Strong Thermal Emission Velocity Enhancement. Let me explain. This natural white purplish ribbon of light pops up here and there, and it's got scientists and astronomers up in arms. To this day, there still is no clear-cut explanation for these events, though they are quite beautiful, especially when you consider that they're completely constructed by Mother Earth. These lights have been photographed by amateur photographers for decades, so it's a real wonder why we don't have more of an explanation than we currently do. Falling seafood. Okay, moving things right along. Up next, we'll talk about something that had no business being in the sky on this day, because these creatures typically live out their entire lives underwater. But check it out. Now, we've talked about animals and creatures that have been sucked into the sky before, just to be discarded out into the world in some of the strangest and most unique places. Like this story that comes from the summer of 2018, where a northeast city in China started pouring down some really crazy animals, like octopus, like this octopus, which was captured on camera at the exact moment it came falling down from the sky. Can you imagine seeing something like this in real life? I mean, sheesh, I would be absolutely shook. Or how about this starfish that fell right onto the hood of this car? Or these shrimp that are covering someone's windshield? This entire situation is incredible and was all made possible once a terrible rainstorm that carried hurricane-force winds caused water spouts to pop up in the Yellow Sea, which in turn caused several different creatures to be sucked out of the water and then into the city's busiest roadways. Can you imagine being on your way to work when suddenly you're forced to pull off the road because an octopus just landed on the street in front of you? I'm sure that phone call would be a bit awkward, even though, talk about some fresh seafood, it ain't getting much fresher than that. God's lightning. So far today, you've already seen two different stories of lightning being infused into the weird and strange things happening across our skies. And up next, we've got another example of this beautiful phenomena. But this one comes with an interesting twist. Check it out. It looks like a hand is poking out from behind these thick clouds. And out from the hand is a long, bright streak of bluish-white lightning. What in the world? How is this even possible? We're not entirely sure about where this video comes from, but it goes without saying that this is one of the most unique cases of lightning that I've ever seen. If that isn't a hand, then what do you think it is? Navy pilot testimony. So now on to the final story for the day. And trust me, I know we get a little crazy here sometimes, but I just want to point out that this last story is something that's real news and something that really is making a lot of headlines in the US. So this past Memorial Day weekend saw a ton of coverage from the New York Times, of all places, about an alien encounter that happened a few years ago. The reports are that in 2014 and 2015, 5 different Navy pilots were doing training exercises, and all 5 of them noticed multiple alien aircrafts on multiple occasions. And these guys are extremely serious. One pilot even recalled seeing a, quote, sphere encasing a cube that flew past his own jet at a super high rate of speed. Now, of course, these stories have sent conspiracy theorists into a frenzy, but scientists and other experts are attempting to debunk the UFO theories. Their claim is that the objects that the pilots saw during that stretch of time, which covered more than a year, were more than likely just some kind of drone. But I dare ask in response to that, why would drones be in a government-controlled area without consent? Why would they be as high as Navy pilots? And why would this go on for over a year without anyone trying to make the proper adjustments? A whole lot of questions that mostly go unanswered as we close out today's show.